Hey guys, Zach with Hook and Timber Outdoors here. Today we're going to be tying a purple haze. This is going to, it's actually a purple haze emerger pattern. It's essentially a Caddis emerger. With that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Just a couple things about the fly itself. It really works year round, so don't be afraid to, as far as being a set time frame to fish it. Also, it can be fished as a nymph, not just an emerger pattern, right? Or even swung as a wet fly. I'm not really particular about swinging it as a wet fly, but it does work for that case as well. But 9 times out of 10, I'll either fish it as an emerger or a nymph underneath the water and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and get started. I've got 140 UTC thread, ultra thread in purple. I have a size 16 hook from Big T Fly Fishing. It's a BT MDG 100. It's essentially a midge hook. This is what I like tying these on with. And finally we have a purple glass bead. This is, I don't think you can, I'm sure you can find them somewhere, but it's just a purple glass bead that my wife will end up having in her arts and crafts section, so she let me have these, but this is what it is. I don't know if you guys can pick that up on the camera, but it's, golly, there's probably 300 or better in here, but I have all different colors in those. I have white, which I use white a lot. The tag on here says Walmart, so on a clearance section, so try Walmart. I don't know if they'll have them or at Hobby Lobby or any craft store. You would be surprised on what materials that you can find. Not just at your local fly stores. They do sell these like glass beads and whatnot, but even just like at Hobby Lobby or Walmart or any like Michael's, like any craft stores. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to tie our thread on about halfway down the hook shank. And we're going to go ahead and trim off the excess, the tag end. For the tail and for some of the ribbing on the fly itself, we're going to be using slim holographic pearl tinsel. And we're going to go ahead and just cut off a little small piece. We're going to double it over and use as the tail for this fly. Double it over like so. Place it in your left hand or whichever way you have it on the vise. Some people tie left-handed, I tie right-handed because I'm right-hand dominant, but you want to put it about 1/4 of an inch, an 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch for the tail past the hook shank, and go ahead and capture that down off the back. I'm going to pull this just a hair shorter for my likings. Okay, I'm going to wrap back down just a hair. Wrap back up. I'm going to trim off the excess. Okay, and that's going to get covered up. Don't worry about this stuff sticking up right here. It's going to get covered up in just a moment. Next, we're going to take a longer piece we're going to use as essentially the ribbing for this fly, and go ahead and tie it in on the side closest to myself. Now we're just going to build a little purple body, somewhat tapered, going all the way up to stop just right before the glass bead, purple glass bead that we have. And try to get it as nice and even as possible. That way the tinsel has good spots to stick and actually hold. Okay, now that we have that, we are going to take our tinsel and wrap it up the fly. And I like to get these a little bit bigger than normal. I don't like too much of that showing I just want a little bit of flash in this fly because the tail has a pretty good bit of flash. So as soon as I have that, I'm going to go ahead and capture it off right behind the bead. That's not going anywhere. And trim off the excess. Alright, so the next step for this particular fly pattern, I'm going to use some dubbing. This is going to be Senyo's Laser Dub from Orvis in purple. And I'm actually going to mix that with just a little bit of Ice Dub and UV Pearl. This is what this looks like in the UV Pearl. It's very white and it's got a little pearl look to it. So I'm not going to use that much. That was just so you guys could pick it up in the camera. I'm going to get just a little bit of the purple out and my UV Pearl tinsel and put it on top of each other and just strip it out. Just like so. You take the two, put them on top of each other and strip and pull. And that way you can get a nice layered effect. Mix some of the UV Pearl with the purple. So once I have it to my likings, we'll go ahead and dub it on. Move it up the thread. I'm going to tie this. It came unraveled for me. Okay. Final step for this fly, since it is an emerger, we're going to be using some saddle hackle. This is from Whiting Farms. Oops, I dropped it. From Whiting Farms. This is the whole half cape that I have. It's grizzly. So I'm going to take off a strand. Some people use a hackle gauge. I'm not going to use one. I'm fairly good as far as eyeballing it, which one knows or which one I should put on a size 16 hook. I do have a hackle gauge. I'm just don't feel like getting up, go across the room to get it. So once we have one peeled off to our likings, I'm going to go ahead and take it from the tip, prune these back just a little bit to where they flare out. Okay. And we're going to tie in from this stem here. Okay, so once we have this pruned back a little bit, it's going to look like so. We can go ahead and tie in from the stem on the side closest to myself. Make sure you get it right behind the bead. I do 2 wraps and that's all you need. We'll go ahead and trim off the excess for this. Next we're going to, some people use your hackle pliers. I'm just going to take it and rotate it around the fly. That's 1 turn, 2 turns. That's all you need, just 2 turns. Or 1.5, whatever gets on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and capture that off. I'm going to pull these back and make sure I get all of these right behind the bead. Perfect. That's all we need right there. Next we can go ahead and go in and trim off this excess. And the final step is to whip finish. So I'm going to take our whip finish tool and go ahead and whip finish. I'm going to try to get those back as best as possible. So I'll pull them back and whip finish at the same time. Pull your thread tight. perfect. That's a gorgeous looking fly right there. Trying to do this carefully so I don't cut any of the hackle off. Perfect. There you have it. That is my version of the purple haze. I'm going to go ahead and take our little hackle pliers deal. They're also used as a hook holder. This is how I put my beads on, especially the smaller ones. But you just put it in the little hook shank. Whenever you put on the bead, you'll put it on up here closer to the eye of the hook. Then you can actually put your bead on a whole lot easier. So I know I wasn't in camera on that, but you can put it right behind the eye of the hook, and then you can put on your bead that way. But turn it around, of course, but that was just for demonstration purposes. So this is your purple haze. This is the Hook and Timber exclusive. I say exclusive, this is just how I tie my particular purple hazes. There you have it, guys. I hope you guys found this video useful. Maybe you'll get behind the vise and tie one of these up. And if you do, let me know how it fishes on your home waters. I know that I actually fish this on the Chattahoochee pretty regularly. And also the other rivers that I fish as well. But it is, a Caddis emerger fly pattern, so it can be used on just about any river, none in particular. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and just thank you guys for taking the time to watch our videos. And if you could just take a moment, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so. And also check us out on Facebook. We're on Facebook at Hook and Timber Outdoors. You can just search us in the search box. Make sure to like our page on Facebook, and we're constantly uploading stuff on there daily as well. So thanks for your guys' time. Hope you guys have a great day.